We have fabulous stencils and they make fabulous signs, but sometimes I like to do a little bit of texturing. So today I thought I'd show you how to use Weathered Wood, which is a Crackle medium by DecoArt Americana, and I'm going to put it on my words and then I'm going to put paint over the top of it. And then the other thing that I like to do to add texture is I like to do a little bit of multi-layer. I stain my surface and then I do my color on top and then sand through it. It just adds a little bit of rustic character to it, so it's not so crispy and brand new stencil-y looking. So we're going to get our stencil lined up and we're going to want a little bit of tape. Okay, I'm going to tape on opposite corners and that way my stencil won't rock around. I'm going to take a little bit of my Weathered Wood Medium. I'm not going to put it on all the letters, I'm just going to do these big ones. And I'm going to just tap it off just a little bit and then I'm going to apply it thinly. Weathered wood likes to kind of pull up, like congeal back on itself, so you want to really put a thin coat. You want to work on that pretty hard because it's very sticky. And you can go back over it and you can smooth it. This doesn't matter as far as application goes. It doesn't matter if you stipple it. It doesn't matter if you brush it on, whatever you want to do. It doesn't affect the way that it crackles. The top coat affects how it crackles. Weathered wood is a chemical-based crackle, meaning that it's going to have a chemical reaction with the paint that you put on top of it. So, I think this one I can just stroke down. So that means that I can put this on here and it will still crackle in a year when I come back to it, if I don't get it done today, right? Alright, so I'm just going to do these letters, and the reason I'm wiping off over here is I don't want it to leak out underneath my stencil. These stencils with the great big long straight lines will leak a little bit more than the others, so you want to make sure to control the amount of paint on your brush. Alright, with the same kind of control that I used with my Crackle medium, I'm going to use burlap, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to tap it off. Get my brush loaded. So it's evenly loaded, it's not like swamping things. This is where it's a little bit tricky. So you want to make sure to get the cracks to crackle, you want to use heavier paint, but you want to make sure that you're not getting heavy with your paint because you don't want it to bleed under. So when you get over here, make sure that you start with a consistent amount of paint, but controlled. And you want to press it down where the things are long. And you don't want to go back over this. It needs to cover the first time, otherwise you're going to cover up your crackle. Oops. I skipped that step. So notice I'm going slower. I'm not hurrying, because if I hurry, I'm going to start pushing stuff around. I want it to be covered. Here I'm having a little bit of a bubble, so I'll just get over there and I'll hold it down. You can already see it crackling over here. Let me see if I can get in close. So see the cracks forming. Alright, and then we do the reveal. Take our tape off, lift our stencil, and look at how cool that looks. It's not quite finished drying yet. Look, my F has really got some good crackles up here on the O. And then, so this is just really even, and then this is got the cracks, and it just adds just a little bit more detail to it. All right, to finish it off, I like to sand through my lettering. Let's do the one that I did in the darker color. I think that sanding through the lettering when you're stenciling makes it look like it's part of the project. I like just a little bit of that texture on there. And then when you come up on here, you can also give it some grunge, and you can give it some extra grunge. Like, it's really been working hard to try to get off of there. And see how that just adds to the texture of the crackle. All right, and so here is the look of the texture with the crackle and a little bit of sanding for distressing.